And Joe, appreciate that. And as the face of homelessness has changed over the past 36 years, Barry Feaker changed how our community faced the issue. In an exclusive interview, he sat down with chief photojournalist Doug Brown and me to reflect on his time and look to the future. The Topeka Rescue Mission today is very different from the one Barry Feaker walked into in 1986.
I remember coming in the front door for the very first time, and literally the floor was leaning a certain way.
As buildings and programs have changed, the constants have been Barry.
For some reason, they can't handle their present living situation.
And the people.
At the end of the day, people are people. And if they're hungry, they're hungry. If they're homeless, they're homeless. If they hurt, they hurt. And can we love them with love?
Almost immediately, the shelter itself became his primary concern. At the time, the mission's home was a small building in what's now a parking lot across the street from the current shelter. 15 to 20 people a night stayed there. They'd talked about expanding. Then, in 1989, a huge rock fell through the ceiling in the men's dorm.
We have to do something very quickly.
The result? In 1991, the current shelter building opened on North Kansas Avenue.
Of course, we have a lot more beds than we used to have.
Feaker says at the same time, society was shifting, particularly in Topeka.
If you think back in 1986, we had a Topeka State Hospital and we had a Miniger Foundation here. Neither one of those are here anymore. That didn't mean the issues went away in regards to mental health.
Add to that evolving substance abuse issues, a rise in single-parent families, and policies moving people off public assistance programs.
A number of people left the welfare programs that are government funded. Some of them were able to gain employment and do very well, but others fell off and they became homeless. And so we saw a significant increase in women and children.
Feaker led the charge to meet those needs, opening the mission's Hope Center in 2000.
And it filled up immediately.
The shelter that once housed a couple dozen people a night was now giving more than 300 a place to sleep. But what Feaker was working to make the community understand was that shelter alone wasn't the answer.
Housing alone doesn't solve people's problems. It's only one piece of the equation. You can have people in housing and no food. You can have people in housing, no utilities. It's so complicated. And what happens is that many communities, many institutions will say it's so complicated, we want to do the simple thing. Let's just give them a house. Well, that's not worked for decades.
Under Feaker's leadership, TRM has partnered with community agencies to enact programs for education and job training, rehousing. They focused on empowering the Highcrest neighborhood with NetReach. Their Street Reach team serves people in camps. They launched a human trafficking intervention initiative. The pandemic's Operation Food Secure facilitated food box distribution. And most recently, the Mobile Access Partnership with Vallejo, Topeka Police, and Stormont Vale brings shower, laundry, and health care to those in need.
It definitely is a symphony of people coming together. I'm most blessed, I don't know if it's proud is the right word, I'm most blessed to see this community just say, yeah, let's do this together.
Feaker says he'll remain involved advising on homelessness issues both locally and nationally for those who view Topeka as a model. But it's time to hand over the reins.
I felt like I did the best that I could during this time. Don't want to stay too long, didn't want to leave too early. And so I think it's great timing for the next generation to be able to come in and build upon the platforms, the foundations that we've set here.
The foundation he's laid, he hopes, is convincing more people to look beyond what they see when they encounter someone who is homeless.
Once we are brave enough to ask the question, why? Why is this person homeless? And then the next question is what? This is not romantic. This is not everybody lives happily ever after. This is hard. This is broken. I would like for people to say, we really want to know why, and then ask, what can we do together?
TRM plans a community celebration April 22nd to thank Feaker and welcome the new director, LaManda Broyles.